So recently, I just learned a lesson about trying to film reviews, record reviews at 3 o'clock in the morning, a little sleep when you're about to fall asleep. I'm never doing that again because originally I had this already done and I went back through it again and I didn't like it. I sounded lazy as hell. So, yeah, this is me redoing it again just for your information. So, let's get to the point of this review, of course. But first, like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. All right, let's go in. So VHS 1999 or 99. I did not know this film was coming out. I think they kind of kept this on the wraps, or maybe I just forgot. Because VHS 94 that came out previously last year, I enjoyed that one very well. That one had a segment on there which was scary. And for anybody who doesn't know about the VHS series, it's a found footage horror anthology film series. So there's 5 of them now. Just for y'all who don't know, but for you who don't know, I don't want to name the segment, but the segment from last year dealing with the funeral home, that one was creepy. I thought that was the best one from VHS 94. Now VHS 99, of course, takes place in 1999. VHS 94 takes place in 94. But VHS 99 is the 5th installment of the series. The film features segments from different sorts of people, one including Final Lotus. It premiered on September 16th, and actually the day right before I went to Universal Horror Nights. But September 16th, 2022, in Midnight Madness category of the 22 Toronto International Film Festival. And it was released on the 20th of October on Shudder. And I did not know this is the most watched movie debut on Shudder. Wow. But yeah, it's directed by The Flying Lotus, Maggie Levine, Vanessa and Joseph Winter, and a whole sorts of people. But I'm going to give a synopsis of all 5 sections real quick. The first one is The Shredding, dealing with a punk rap band who love pulling pranks. They call themselves RAC, which is a acronym for the members of the punk rap band. One being Rachel and Core, Chris, Caleb. Now these kids are crazy, but they're obsessed with a accident that happened to an up-and-coming punk rock band called Bitch Cat. Stupid ass name. But anyways, this band actually passed away, died in an incident at a venue called the Colony Underground. So these 4 idiots decide to go there, and yeah, nothing goes right for these 4. Stupid. It ends bloody. Let's just say that. The thing about this one, the VHS 99, the previous ones all wrapped around a intermission between each segment. This time it doesn't. The intermission that happens in between each segment, it's dealing with like stock footage with like toy soldiers, but it kind of has something to do with one of the stories, but we get to that later. The next one, the second one, Suicide Bit, which I thought was probably the better one out of the 4. It deals with a college freshman named Lily who wants to join the Beta Sigma, sorority, on her campus. Bunch of mean girls, the sorority is. But in order for Lily to get into there, she has to do a thing called the suicide bid, which deals with her getting inside a casket and getting buried alive overnight. Lily is warned not to do this by her roommate, but does she do it? Nah. Of course she does it. Of course. And yeah, everything turns to hell for this girl. And I think it's based off a urban legend. This story is actually based off an urban legend. I don't want to pronounce it wrong. Guillotine, I think it was. It was a woman who did the same thing Lydia's trying to do, get into a sorority, gets buried alive, but she disappears overnight. So this one is a creepy one. It's claustrophobic too. If you someone who is claustrophobic and scared of the dark and scared of being buried alive, and also scared of other things. I had to give this one the better rating than the first one, like an 8 out of 10. The previous one, 6 out of 10. I didn't like that one so much. The third one, Ozzy's Dungeon. Now, this one kind of hits, I would say hit close to home, but hits home almost. Now, this one is based off a children's game show where young contestants are participating in physical challenges in a dungeon. Now, this one reminds me of the Nickelodeon TV show from back in the day. I think it started in 93 and ended in 96, I believe. It reminds me of a TV show called Legends of the Hidden Temple. Now, if y'all remember that from the 90s or 80s kids remember that, type something in the comment section down below. But this one kind of hit close to home with the nostalgia, because I actually used to watch that show for some reason. I was actually on the set of Legends of the Hidden Temple when Nickelodeon used to be in Orlando. Nickelodeon now, and they filmed the stuff is actually in Hollywood now. But this one, it's not so much creepy, but kind of funny. This one actually stars Trevor from GTA. Trevor from GTA. If anybody played GTA 5, you remember Trevor. He stars in this one, and it's directed by the Flying Locusts. If anybody familiar with them. This one, like I said, it's not creepy, but also funny, but it also gets kind of weird. And we're dealing with some, I don't want to say BLM, but let's just say it gets weird. It gets black, and it gets kind of, let's say, eldritch horror towards the end of it. But also funny. But the synopsis of this one, there's an African-American family whose daughter is a contestant in the show, and they're from Detroit trying to make it big, and they go down to Orlando because I think this is, and during the final obstacle of this course, the young black woman, I should say, her leg is broken, and this whole Ozzy's Dungeon, it's not done properly well. Nobody's trained well. The medics are not trained because everybody's getting hurt. But I would say this one is probably the better one if you love Legends of the Hidden Temple, if you just love those 90s game shows for the kids. So that's Ozzy's Dungeon. The Walkers, now this one is also creepy. It's dealing with it kind of wraps around with the whole stop motion that happens in the beginning of the film. But this one is based on a bunch of kids, a bunch of teenage boys just being teenage boys, you know. There's pulling pranks on the neighbors, skateboarding, and they're spying on a young woman named Sandra, an attractive blonde who's just doing whatever at her house, and these kids get caught up, and it doesn't end well for everybody involved. But I'm not gonna say how they got caught up. So that's Gawkers. That one is actually pretty creepy towards the end, pretty scary. To Hell and Back, the last segment in this one is dealing with not a suicide quote, but a coven of witches. There's these two dudes who are videographers. They're hired by the coven of witches to film the ritual on a woman that volunteered to become a vessel for the powerful demon known as Akaban. And these two dudes get sent to hell. It makes you want to read your Bible. It makes you want to believe in Jesus Christ, because they're giving you a glimpse of hell, what hell is. And these dudes have to find their way back out of hell, back to the land of the living. But they had to get help from this, I wouldn't call her a demon, but other woman named Mabel, who's also stuck there and trying to defeat this demon called Akuban. This one also has a chill factor to it, a creepy factor to it. It kind of leaves you somewhat hopeless towards the end of it. I think all these leave you somewhat hopeless. There's no happy endings to any of these. You know what? I don't think there's ever a happy ending to any of these segments. In any of these movies. Maybe there could be some. But yeah, it's not good for these people who are in this thing. So anyways, that's pretty much a synopsis of all the segments to 1999. So far, its reception and its rating so far on Shudder, it broke records the first 4 days of release, and it's the highest debut, like I said before. But it received a 74% based on 47 reviews, 5 out of 10. Like people say, the critics say, like most anthologies, it has its ups and downs. But yeah, people do list that whoever reviewed this have listed the culturally relevant topics of the era of the 90s, dealing with like the Y2K, Paranoia, Limp Bizkit, and Legends of the Hidden Temple. I had to give it. Overall, I had to give this probably a 6, 7 out of 10. I'm probably being a little bit too nice with it. I think VHS 94 is better than this one. But no doubt, it's a good one. It's a good watch if you want to watch some anthology horror on Halloween. There's talks of a sequel, but who knows? They said there's actually, I'm reading here, it's a sequel titled VHS 85, so they're going back to the 80s. I thought they was going to do all the 90s, because that would be the new thing, because a couple years ago, everything is 80s. I thought they was going to go forward and do everything 90s, but they go into VHS 85, and I guess it was filmed back to back with VHS 1999, and it probably won't be out until next year. So that's my review on VHS 99. I was about to say 94. I should do a review on 94, but I don't know if I have enough time. But if you have seen VHS 99, tell me what you think in the comments down below. And if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's on Shudder. If you don't have Shudder, go get Shudder. Yeah.